Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, going to take a look in the Soulforge and tell you what is good and bad in there this week. Also going to take a look at this weekly event troop, the Shadow Beetle. Let's have a look. Deals magic +2 damage to the first and last enemy, boosted by purple gems. It's not bad. Sometimes the last enemy is the one that you want to attack, so that's pretty good. Inflicts web when doing skull damage. Deal double skull damage versus webbed enemies. And reduce damage from skulls by 25%. Alright, that's not bad. Reduced damage means it's more viable up top anyway, which is a good place for it to be, because dealing double damage versus webbed enemies is good on skulls. And you inflict the web when doing that. So, decent skull damage and attacking the last and first enemies. I'm going to give that a okay 6 out of 10. Pretty good. Always worth grabbing these things up to Mythic level if you can afford the glory. Get them straight to Mythic level straight away. There we go. Bingo. Bango. Thank you very much. Right, let's jump into the Soulforge then. But first, my girlfriend said to me last night, in a bit of a sultry voice, I wasn't sure what's going on. She said, "What starts with F and ends with K?" I said, "No, it doesn't." Right, let's start with the weapons then. Shadow Staff is here. I'm not going to go over all the weapons that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video. A link to that will be in the description below. And first of all, we have a Shadow Staff, dealing magic +3 damage to the first 2 enemies, boosted by Zul'Kari allies. This is a weapon that's in the event shop, so get it from there instead at tier 3. Much better to get it from there, because you're going to basically save resources. If you get it from here, you've got to spend diamonds and other stuff as well, which, you know, a lot of people want to keep their diamonds towards the better weapons and the better mythics and things like that. And you're going to want to do the event anyway. So you kind of almost get it for free by getting it at tier 3 in the event shop. And these ones are hit all the time. And next up is Dark Staff. Deal damage to an enemy. Deal double damage if there's a Dark Storm and create a Dark Storm. So yeah, okay, if you can get it charged up a couple of times, get that Dark Storm going, deal double damage, but generally better stuff out there. More collectible than anything, these kind of ones sometimes, but only 75 diamonds. Always good to get it, because it gives you another weapon, oops, which is from that kingdom, which is good. And you're going to want a certain amount of weapons from kingdoms to get them leveled up to the next stage and things like that. Right, let's get me buttons sorted out. Next up we have a Dark Shot. Deal damage to an enemy, create 5 purple gems, boosted by webbed enemies. That's better than it sounds. If you like a lot of purple, this is really, really good. Damage, create 5 purple gems, boosted by webbed enemies. If you can get the whole enemy team webbed quick, then you can create a shed load of purple really quickly. Very, very good indeed. Do like that. Doomed Potions. Give magic +1 life to all allies with a +2 per tempering level boost. Then give 5 mana to all other allies. If the enemy has a doom, give 5 more mana. Give 2 magic to all allies for each green enemy. So a lot to unpack with this weapon. That 2 magic to all allies for each green enemy means it's most powerful against an all green enemy team. And it does give life to all allies and give mana to all other allies. And that boost is only if there's a doom on there. So yeah, a lot going on with that. But yeah, still not my favourite type of doomed weapons. I prefer the damaging ones. Choker of Zul'Kari. Literally chokes the team by removing all purple gems, which is the colour that Zul'Kari troops like the most, hindering their mana progress, then dealing magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed. If the enemy is from Zul'Kari, or if the battle is in Zul'Kari, deal double damage. So in that situation, not bad at all. Iranian Bloom. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by Zul'Kari allies. Then create a mix of 6 green and purple gems for each Zul'Kari ally. So similar to the other weapon, this one uses yellow and brown, but creates green and purple. But make sure you got at least a couple of troops using green and or purple from Zul'Kari to make the most of all that mana. The Nightfall Blade. Deal magic-based damage to the last enemy. If they are poisoned, deal 4 stacks of bleed. But that stack, that bleed can be effective though if it lasts a long time, if they don't cleanse themselves. What else we got? What else we got? Any more? Bound Darkness. Deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by purple allies and elf allies. Simple as that. But does have webbed as one of its upgrades, which is pretty good. Venom Shot. Quite like the sound of some of these Zulkari weapons actually. They sound quite cool. Deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by all webbed and poisoned enemies, then web and poison them. The Weaver's Tome. Create 6 web gems and gain an extra turn. Extra turn, so if you create those web gems and don't get any matches from it, you can use an extra turn and hopefully make it so. Watcher's Blade. Explode magic +1 green gems. Grant a random status effect to all Zulkari allies, then summon a Zulkari troop. So a nice explodey summony weapon there. Do like them. Always handy, especially if you're a newer player, to get a summon in the team. I always used to use it as a newer player. Really, really good. Until my stats were higher, so I could survive longer. Always good to include a summon in your teams if you can. Just makes it that much more safer. Right, on to the Mythics then. Let's see who's in here this week. Again, I'm not going over all the troops that are here on a regular basis. They're in my Soulforge extra video. Any link to that will be in the description below. The dragon on rotation this week is Eclipsos. So it does cost you a lot more Dragonite, but it does guarantee you that dragon. Potentially worth doing it if it's the only one you're missing. Otherwise you could get frustrated by loads and loads of duplicates. But yeah, a bit of a gamble. Oh no, so who's the first Mythic? We have Consort of Darkness. He got lost on a way home from a sex convention and ended up in Gems of War. There's a magic +1 chance to slay an enemy. If the enemy dies, create 12 skulls. Otherwise, eliminate 10 from all their skills. So, even with my magic level, which is pretty decent, there's a less than 50-50 chance to slay someone. In other words, just kill them outright. No kink shaming, please, he says. But yeah, not a really big fan of these kind of things, because if you're a lower level, then it's even going to be worse. But if somehow you can fit a troop in your team which increases the skills or magic of a troop like this, then it can be very, very good indeed. But yeah, Consort of Darkness. Who is next? Dow! More like Dole! Shabanu Vespera, his opposite, is much, much better for me. This one, because Shabanu gives skills to your team. And this doesn't seem to work anywhere near as powerfully in the opposite kind of way. Eliminating a low magic-based amount from a random skill on an enemy. Destroy 8 gems of one of their mana colours. Then repeat 2 more times for random enemies. Yeah. Go! Tina, a bit more like it. Tina 9000. Dealing magic +4 damage to a higher amount of true damage to 3 random enemies and gain that highest amount of armor. So really good, true damage, 3 random enemies, gain a bunch of armor, and also has some excellent traits as well. Reduce damage from spells by 50% and add 50% of armor to skull damage. Tina, excellent, excellent troop. Do like her a lot. Yasmine's Chosen. Deal magic-based scatter damage boosted by entangled enemies and create 10 green gems. She uses green, so if you get some matches on them, she can charge up and do it again. And that boost is helped by Wild Vines, entangle a random enemy when matching green, and gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell. And also gain 1 magic for each green ally, so not a bad set of traits. Right, so let's go over the legendaries quick then. We have Taloka here. Dealing scatter damage, and if there's a storm, deal triple damage. And Lightning Bolt, deal 10 damage to a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. Is fun. But I don't usually say to craft legendaries from here unless there's somebody truly special like a Yao Guai or a Tesla. So generally save your diamonds for the more important, much harder to get mythics. Regent Caliph, gain 4 magic and either gain magic +1 life or deal magic +1 damage to all enemies, or gain 10 more magic. Don't like the or ones where there's like a bunch of random things can happen in. I like to know what's going on in my games. Deal Pyrophemus, or whatever. He's got a burning eye, and he deals magic-based damage to an enemy, boosted by burning gems, burning allies, and burning enemies. So he likes a bit of fire, and he does create 1 burning gem when his turn begins. That burning eye thing, if you wear contact lenses and you've been wearing them a while, and you remember the system in the olden days, basically when they first came out, where you had like a disinfectant. It was like quite a strong disinfectant-y solution which cleansed them, and then you had to put them in a neutralizer. You had to empty that out, fill up the container with a neutralizer, and then put the lenses in that for like 10 minutes to actually nullify the disinfectant. But the trouble is, the colours of the solutions were exactly the same. And if you're in a bit of a daydream, which you often were because you just got up and things like that, and you think you did the disinfectant thing, but you didn't, and then you put the contact lens straight in your eye from not neutralising it, and you get that burning eye. Oh my god, it was like horrendous. And the trouble is, where it's not a saline solution, so it doesn't have a nice slick sort of slippery feel to it, it kind of like just adheres to your eye like super glue, making it even harder to get out as well. And it was just, oh my god, I was so happy when that system changed. You say you only do that once with contact lenses, but I'm sure I managed to somehow do it twice. But anyway, I digress. Where was I? Yes, Firenza, another legendary. I like this one. Not just because of what she's wearing, which is rather fetching, but deals magic +1 damage to all enemies, boosted by fairy fire gems, and summons a summon knight. So magic based damage to all, boosted by fairy fire gems, and a summon at the same time is cool. And she creates one fairy fire gem when her turn begins, which you can match because you're going to need it to charge her up anyway, which then does extra damage from her spell. So yeah, Firenza, very, very good indeed. I do like her. Who else we got? Is that it? That is it. Right, so who is our Mythic of the Week? Well, it's not Mr. Sex Convention. Don't like the randomness of the spell. Dow, absolutely no chance. Yasmine Chauvin's alright, but it has to go to Tina. Very, very smart. Very good Mythic indeed. Like it. Lots of true damage. You can be up against... It can go swings and roundabouts. You can be up against a team where you really want to hit someone, and Tina will hit it 2-3 times in a row and take them out, and you think, Tina, you hero. Another time, she'll just dance around that one ship you want to hit, hitting the other ones instead, not hitting the one you wanted. So it is swings and roundabouts, but still an absolutely fantastic Mythic. Very dangerous, very easy to get a 50% mana start with it in mech class, in Mechanist. So yeah, Tina 9000, my Mythic of the Week. So there's the video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful or helpful, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.